Dude, welcome back to the Dudes of Sports Podcast. I'm your host, PC, and we got another great episode for you today. Hey, Dynamic Duo is back. I guess K-Stel and his contract negotiations aren't going that well. Um, you know,
Lockout.
he's doing all this good stuff, so we'll have to wait and see on him. But hey, Main Man for Way Out West is here with us, like always. It talks about some good old sports action. We're getting into that NFL playoffs, the NCAA championship football game is right around the corner on Monday. We are in the thick of it for conference play for college sports. UFC is almost back. Main Man for Way Out West, how
Oh
was your
my
week
goodness.
and everything else?
Week okay.
On
This
Monday,
is
we are
right
in the
about
thick of it
when,
for
because
conference play for college sports.
some
UFC is
teams they
almost
had the
back.
hope, and some teams they're getting into mock draft, but you're not totally done. I'm talking NFL stuff, really. Baseball. I mean, right here on the Google Doc, it says nothing for baseball. There's maybe something for baseball. Um, but yeah, I mean, some interesting stuff happens. This is kind of an exciting time, but yet also a boring time. We're
For
getting used
baseball.
to writing
Uh,
2026 on our checks and all the other stuff that we're doing. We also got UFC coming back. I know Dana, whatever. So I'm excited for next week. So a lot of stuff shucking and jiving, moving, end of football, beginning of other stuff. I mean, it's cold outside. It's freezing. A bunch of stuff is changing. So a lot going on, and excited to talk some stuff today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Hello, folks.
things are kind of winding down for our football season. We've got obviously 4 NFL teams left now after these divisional games. Only 2 NCAA football games, or not games, teams left for that championship game. When football season's over, we'll get into that NBA. It's been kind of handling happening out right now, but we kind of stick to those major sports. We will fill in that opening slot for some NBA news as we get closer and closer to NBA playoffs. We do have some dudes with sports, with some teams. Then you've
I
got
just saw
Main Man.
Lamelo Ball. The reason why I brought it up, I brought that up pre-show, and the reason I brought it, I saw Lamelo Ball do the most ridiculous thing to DeAndre Ayton when he played the Lakers. Did you see that?
No, but it's
He like
DeAndre
brought him
Ayton.
all well, he brought him all the way to the cup, and then like quadrupled like step back, and he like threw some crazy dribble stuff. Aiton like legs split open, knee touching the ground. It was just absolutely ridiculous, and then he switched to three. But I mean, I think, and right, I'm not the biggest NBA guy, and there the whole thing with John Morant and Nick Howard because he's a Grizzly fan, and I get fandom, but NBA basketball, it's kind of a star-driven league, star-driven sport, all this kind of stuff. I'm watching a lot of high school basketball. Tyron Stokes is local. The local team's doing pretty decent in basketball. It's just so much about like the team needs to play well for the like a team needs to play as a team for a team to do good, right? You just can't have willy nilly whatever five like uh
You have to have one to
and
two
one.
stars, but then you do need those role players that are
But
around.
yes,
You
that's
have
the
to
thing is
have
that you
those. You have
need
to
a
have the
guy
guys.
who
Yeah.
you could give the rock and he's going to make the bucket. It's kind of like your quarterback in football, right? Your quarterback in football, because like the offensive coordinator comes up with the perfect play. The quarterback has to be able to make the throw, right? Making the throw is like the thing that we take for granted. The making the shot, the this, the that. Like you got a good defender. Lamelo Ball might be my favorite basketball player of all time.
That doesn't surprise me one bit out of knowing who
That
you
he is
are and
so
what.
fun to watch. He is
Well, he's on
absolutely
the Hornets
incredible.
who suck.
Right, and like that. Well, hey, Concanoodle, he's my homeboy, right?
Yeah.
And maybe if they get a whole like little squad going, but and right, those jerseys, like the aesthetic of the Hornets. It sucks if they're the Hornets and they're bad and all that, right? But Lamelo Ball is so fun to watch, man.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point do we get to say LeVar was right about just about everything?
He was pretty dang close. He's like he
Dude,
did cement his. I mean, Leangelo didn't quite make it there, but I mean everything else.
yeah.
I guess he's a successful rapper now. He had that one big hit that everybody liked.
Yeah, dude.
So I don't
Swear
know.
Beneco, whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But NBA stuff, we'll talk about that. I mean, I'm a Suns guy, and the Suns are playing okay, so better than they were
Why?
last year. Why? Guy named Devin Booker, not the guy named Grayson Allen, who
Dylan
comes off
Brooks.
the bench and doesn't really do anything in a
30
single game.
piece. Dude, you
Next
know
line up
that
in the NBA.
there's only 3 Suns that have scored 30 points this season?
It's Devin, Dylan, and Grayson.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jalen Green hasn't really played at all. I'm not saying that he would be a part of that conversation, but But yeah, Grayson Allen's still a good,
Yeah, if the other
good,
three
good,
were out,
good
which
basketball
it wouldn't
player.
be.
Congrats, he's a good basketball player, but he's still a tripping bastard in my opinion. Let's talk
Dude,
NFL
he's
football.
like 32. Like, who would have thought that he had?
He
How
had the
much money has he
stuff,
made in his career?
a
Like,
lot,
he
a
is
lot,
like crazy what
a
he has
lot.
done. Because like I totally got it when he was at Duke and it was like funny and whatever. But now the fact he's like a 10-year vet, like the joke is kind of like it's like
No,
no,
he's a legit
actually the guy's
player.
yeah,
Yeah, he's great. I'm not saying he's not a great player.
it's
It's
yeah.
just, yeah, he's a
I
tripping
never
bastard,
thought
and I
he was
don't
gonna
like him.
be.
I think when it rimmed out in the final in the Elite Eight, and it was like one of the happiest
Oh
moments of
my
my
goodness.
childhood. I think honestly. So, yeah. Well, good on Grayson, I
Actually, you
guess.
can't talk bad about Duke because I have other stuff going on. So
Yeah, you got other stuff going on, huh? Hey man, I was
no,
frustrated.
6'9", 250 pounds won't translate to to the next level. I mean, good luck.
Nope, doesn't play that type of game.
I mean,
He'll be the third pick.
maybe the
He
three
should be
point
the
line.
four, maybe technically. A cuff. No, just he's
I mean,
definitely not.
hopefully he falls to Oklahoma City or whatever. Like I don't, what
Just
pick
having
he goes doesn't matter. Look at what Cooper's having to deal with.
Yeah, but
He
I
had to play
mean, it
point guard
does
for his
matter.
first
I mean, it
12
doesn't,
games.
like, obviously, but, like, I mean, if you could get on a squad that's getting a little bit of that young momentum going, I
Khan
think
is like dragging these Hornets to the playoffs. He's
it's
kind of crazy.
it's the Hornets. Let's talk
I
NFL
know.
football. Divisional round did wrap up today. We will go in order of these games.
This is just such good football.
Yeah, it was good football to watch. The only one game that wasn't great football. I mean, you got to see the Seahawks play good football, but the 49ers didn't play very good football. So, but everything else, all three games, except for, I mean, I guess
Yeah,
CJ Stroud kind of sucks too, but I mean, I guess that is what it is. But
yeah, the
yeah,
turnovers. It's
we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's talk about the first game on Saturday. We had a doozy. Buffalo loses to Denver, 33-30 in overtime. Bo Nix, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 279 yards. Josh Allen, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 117 yards on the ground for James Cook. Not really a lot of rushing there, but the turnovers for Buffalo really hurt. At the 2 picks, and then the fumble recoveries that Denver made. Denver's defense really stood up. Bo Nix made a hell of a throw. Ends up making Buffalo lose the game. Tears in Josh Allen's eyes. Thank goodness no Buffalo Bills fans throwing themselves through a table unless they're upset about it. And then you get the worst news if you're a Denver Broncos fan in the second to last play of the game. He's trying to kneel, breaks his ankle bone, out for the season, AFC Championship. Now you got Stidham. Is it It's Stidham.
yeah.
It's Stidham.
Stidham.
Stidham as your starting quarterback in the AFC Championship. That defense is really, really good, but man, losing your starting quarterback after a huge monumental win. I mean, talk about going from a high to a way low. Pretty insane stuff there. Great football game if you're a football guy, especially if you have no input, no team in it. Maybe if we're out west, what did you think of the Broncos, the Bills, and the overall situation now that we find ourselves in the AFC Championship?
Yeah, super fun. I'm not sure. Maybe now Joe Brady, because he just keeps on coming back to like get over that hump. At a certain point, if he's going to be a head coach, he's got to go for it, or else he's going to be like the enemy. So we'll see what Joe Brady does. But between him and Sean Payton, that was a pretty good offensive coordinator duel going back and forth. RJ Harvey's such a fun player, man. The Broncos got a bunch of guys, but so does Buffalo, right? You had the catch by Keon Coleman.
Yeah,
He
good
likes
catch. Yeah.
cookies, right? And yeah, I mean, you just see the way that defenses are always trying to catch up to offenses in the current landscape of the NFL. And when you get to high level football like this, that's what it is. That's what we saw basically all weekend. Um, gosh, what do I want to say? Buffalo, something. I think they can kind of stay on this path because you look at it and you
They
look
still
at
grind. I mean,
the Steelers are doing something different. The Ravens are doing something different. Kansas City might lose their OC and be forced to do something different because if it was up to them, they'd stay at 8 and 9 for the rest of eternity with Matt Nagy as OC. Um, but oh my gosh, and it would just be perfect for this podcast, but if that happened to like ruin Cam Ward and save the Chiefs, like I'm just glad the Jets aren't involved. I'm watching Sam Darnold in the NFC Championship game in my hometown right now, so I've dealt with enough heartbreak myself. But what we're looking at here is Josh Allen, who's what is he the? I guess he's less accomplished than uh, uh obviously Pat, but Cool Joe,
I mean,
Joe
yeah,
Burrow,
Joe Burr
because
has
Joe
made it
made
to the
the
Super
yeah
Bowl,
made to
and
the Super
Allen
Bowl,
has not made it to a Super Bowl.
but Lamar didn't.
Yeah, I put Josh over
But
Lamar
Lamar
right
has a bunch of
now.
MVPs. So like you've got kind of this logjam. There's a bunch of these
Yeah,
guys, and like right, the Cardinals offer 7 first-round picks. Like, I mean, what are we talking about here? There's the right, with some one of these situations. I'm not saying Josh Allen's the one. Obviously, he's been a thorn in my side. He's been somewhat of a pest to PC as much as they've kind of beat them. He's still been a player who's been compared in all this stuff. But so is Joe Burr. So is Lamar. I mean, Kyler ups and downs. Like you've got a lot of quarterback situations that aren't quite fitting it, and at a certain point, you have to go: is it the athlete? Is it the coaching staff? Sam Darnold seems to make it work, having a new
yeah,
guy every year. Jalen Hurts has had a new guy every year since his junior year in college. So, like, I don't know. What are you gonna do, right? I don't know if a change is in the thing. I mean, Denver's going to stick with their guy. I think Sean Payton's hitched his wagon to Bo Nix.
yeah. It's just
That's
real
crazy
unfortunate
what
that.
that happened.
Yeah,
I guess, and you said it, the Patriots in the Super Bowl, Drake May. I don't know. The Patriots, if anyone knows Jarrett Stidham, it's the Patriots. He was drafted there and all this stuff. I don't know how much is going to go into that. When we look ahead to that game, talk about that game. But I am interested to see, especially Buffalo, which has to do with my division. I hate Deion Dawkins as a Jets fan. He's kind of like a Draymond Green kind of player, and I, gosh, I don't know. It's fun to watch the inner workings of this is why like football is kind of like the cool thing, is like all this stuff in between. Because if it was just like the best team and whatever, but then you get NIL where guys get
yeah,
7 years and 7 different teams.
yeah.
But this is a cool game, 30-33 overtime. More special team stuff. I mean, there's three facets to the games, man. You got three facets going on.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the special teams.
Special teams.
Seahawks Niners, that was kind of a cool one too. I mean,
I
I
mean, it
I
was
had this whole
cool,
Brock
and
Purdy thing.
Seahawks is the one. I mean, they just blew the brakes off them, winning 41
They
to
refuse to
six.
run it, and I
Yeah,
know you don't want to get CMC hurt, and you've got a whole electrical facility there, and whatever. But if Purdy's your leading rusher, you're going to struggle. Purdy 140 on 15 completions. That's less than 10 yards of completion. I would try to look for 10 yards an attempt in my quarterback. And I hate it because I just like quarterback play to a level where if I defend anybody who's considered mid or worse by the Twitter sphere or by media, it sounds like I'm a dick writer or a homer for this guy. I think Purdy's a cool player. I think it's a fun story and all that. I feel like any player in Shanahan's system's good, right? I mean, you got Jimmy G making Super Bowl appearances, all that stuff. Purdy has looked like one of the most fun quarterbacks in that system I've seen. Hey, Sam Darnold was his backup 2 years ago. So there's been some kind of fun developments in San Francisco. Could you imagine Sam Darnold in San Fran? But hey, Clint Kubiak's doing a good job. We'll see what Clint Kubiak. Maybe he gets a job offer unless Seattle loses before the Super Bowl or something, and he wants to come back. But Seattle looked good. San Fran looked. I mean, their
they have so many
defense.
injuries on that team. It's really tough. I mean, when you have
I mean,
Ayuk who
is it
doesn't
this
come back and
thing? I
play.
I don't know. People just come up with the goofiest things whenever stuff happens. But
Uh, yeah, they've looked fine last week against. Uh, who did they play last week? I'm drawing a blank. Well,
Philly.
they played Philly, so they've looked good there. I mean, AJ Brown had to keep dropping that game or whatever. But I mean, the injuries I think do harm. I mean, Kittle not being in there. I mean, it's eventually like how many times there's something going to be broke before it's like completely destroyed. Like if you take a part out of a
And it's
car,
because
it's
you
like
only
eventually
get
take
one
enough
season.
parts. Yeah.
You only get what, like, right? Every year they're gonna make that fucking T-shirt and the fucking trophy and all that stuff. And like San Fran, if you were to like take like the average best team over the last like 5 years. Like, right, you're a Chiefs fan, yeah, gets hurt, all this stuff, and maybe the team was a little screwed before that and whatever, and it hasn't looked quite the same over the last few years. But if you took like an aggregate of like the last decade or since Shanahan started, like the Niners are one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
They just haven't done that thing, right? They haven't gotten the 1 year. Where a team like who's a team that like the fucking I don't know the Broncos when they won it with Manning, and then it took them all the way to now to even make it back with
Right.
Bo Nix, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they've been dog shit. And then you look at a team like the Jets who hasn't sniffed anything, but there's always these kind of one-off teams that do something. San Fran's just always there, and they always get hit by that bug, and it's always someone else. Next year it might be Bosa or Purdy or whoever, right? So it kind of stinks. I'm really excited for this Seattle team.
Their
I
defense
don't
is
like
really, really good.
yeah, I don't like
They
the
could
whole
do.
thing
They
that
could throw the ball. They could run the ball. Yeah, it's a pretty complete team.
K9's a good running back. The receivers are really good. Like it's just a well balanced team. And I'm gonna keep going back to it. Mike McDonald with the and this kind of how we talk about football teams pregame, but once the whistle blows, then we totally realize that it's about the matchups. But pregame, we're all like, okay, well, on average, these guys. But then you watch, you go, oh my gosh, why did I ever think that the slot corner for the fucking Rams could ever? Cooper Cup wasn't available that last game, so
Yeah.
like maybe that game would have been totally different. But we'll see what happens with this. Um, but gosh, I mean, they're just as a total team,
Well,
and
and
Mike McDonald
yeah.
given a week to study any one team. Oh,
Yeah, it's going to be tough anyways. Shaheed, probably one of the best pickups at that trade deadline, had that return for a touchdown to start the game off.
well, that's
He's been
almost one of the first things that
explosive.
he's done. Yeah, he's
But
totally
he's
explosive.
been explosive throughout this year. Like you're right. He's not a
Yeah,
consistent guy, but if he gets the ball in his hands and he's open space, like he scores touchdowns. Like he's making
that
that
just
big
shows
play.
how
But that's what the
great all these
Seahawks needs.
players are.
The Seahawks
It-
need is somebody that's gonna make. I mean, like JSN
yeah,
makes good plays, but like somebody that's like
that's why
explosive
what
like
happened to the
that.
Packers like really stinks because that Packers team was just full, pew
Yeah,
pew pew,
yeah,
just all fireworks, man.
yeah, yep. Good win for Seattle. They will play the Rams. We'll get to that game in just a second. Today we had a kind of a poop fest, I would say, in the Patriots Texans game. Four interceptions by C.J. Stroud, all in the first half. Pretty unbelievably underwhelming play by CJ. The defense kept them in the game. Drake May had 3 touchdowns, 179 yards. CJ, 1 touchdown,
And a
four
pick.
interceptions. Yeah, Drake May had a pick as well. So very sloppy game. Good on the Patriots defense to kind of capitalize. It seemed like CJ was just being shut down, especially in that second quarter. You just like every time you throw the football, you thought he was going to get picked off. So like it's great on the
I he had a
defense,
lot of
but
throws over the middle. I think, and again, I'm gonna come out of like a homer and all this stuff, but like Drake May didn't have an awesome game. He hit a lot of open guys. There was no one open for the Texans.
yeah,
One of those picks was a bad drop by Hutchinson. Hutchinson did come up with a lot of good catches too. CJ picks apart the middle like you see out of the greats. Now there's quarterbacks who are good who don't really attack the middle and they can like make a career out of that, and they'll probably even be considered better than CJ Stroud at their end of their career. But CJ's able to work the middle of the field like you know what, I see a lot of that out of Bryce Young as well. But CJ works the middle of the field so well, and that's really where he was able to attack. It was when he was throwing the out routes that those balls were getting picked off. I think the only pick on an in route was that drop by Hutchinson. Went right through his hands. It was a little high, and he led him away from the DB. It was perfect, but the safety over top grabbed it. Um, so yeah, and obviously you can't really excuse it. At the end of the day, it fell onto him and all this stuff. But um,
yeah. When you don't really have any wide receivers really doing anything, I mean, it's
and
really
they've
hard to
traded away a
maintain.
bunch of receivers the last
Yeah.
few years. It just injuries and all this kind of stuff. He had a deep shot to Tank Dell that he just overthrew a little bit. That sticks out in my mind as a big play in the game. Um, I just refuse to say anything good about the Patriots.
Yeah, well,
Vrabel,
yeah, it's whatever. I mean, like again, they get kind of that not not easy route, but it seemed like they've kind of gotten not the hardest of schedules in the NFL, in the regular season. They did play Buffalo twice, but like you look at theirs, it's not that great. And then they kind of get this little path, and now of course they play the Broncos without their starting quarterback. I don't know. The Patriots end up winning the game. Guess that's all that matters at the end of the day. Doesn't matter how you win, is it if you win the football game or not. We'll see if the Patriots can take advantage against the Broncos. That defense is still really good for Denver, but yeah, it's such a
Is this
killer.
like New England plot armor? To like,
It's yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to figure this out.
It's nuts. But Patriots move on. They will play the Broncos in the AFC Championship. Quickly, I know there's backup quarterback involved, so I'm pretty sure we probably have an agreement on this. Do you have the Patriots winning the AFC Championship, or do you have Denver pulling up a pretty big
I
upset with a backup
guess. I
quarterback?
mean, that would be a super fun upset. Let's look. Right now, New England 5.5, and it's in Denver, is it not?
It is, yeah, because they're the one
Oh,
seed.
imagine if something crazy happens.
That'd be awesome. I'm not a Denver fan. But I don't like the Patriots either. I think those three teams of the Bills, the Patriots, and the Broncos are my least favorite teams in the NFL. So like I was hoping for the Texans, but I mean Denver beating the Patriots with a backup quarterback would be awesome. Um, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm gonna take the Patriots just because the backup quarterback. If they have Knicks, I think that they beat them with Knicks. Um, I think they just figure it out. But without Knicks and with Stidham, I just don't see it happening against a really, really good New England Patriots defense. So I have the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, do you have the Patriots, or are you gonna take the upset?
I mean, I guess I'll just say the Broncos, right?
Yeah, I
Against
mean, I
it.
guess if you want to go against, it doesn't matter either way. Um, the last game of the night, kind of a not a heartbreaker, but kind of a really good game. Kind of hoping the Bears be able to squeak it out. They lose 20-17 to the Rams, who are still a phenomenal football team to watch. Um, the the biggest thing always is the Caleb Williams always figures out a way in the fourth quarter to extend the game. At 3rd and 6, basically a drop back of 20 yards, floater into the end zone, perfect ball to Komet to tie the football game. LA gets a chance, has to punt. Caleb gets a chance to shine, throws an interception. The Rams go down the field and hit a game-winning 42-yard field goal to go play Seattle in Seattle for the NFC Championship. Caleb Williams had 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Obviously, those turnovers really killed Chicago. Matthew Stafford, no touchdowns and no interceptions, but 258 yards. Kyren Williams had 2 touchdowns on the ground. But other than that, I mean, it was a really solid football game. It was a clean football game, other than those interceptions, which I think really eventually costed the Bears in the end, especially obviously that final one, but a few of those other ones that were pretty brutal to watch. The Bears were our team. Remember at the beginning of the podcast, K Stout, one time in his life, he's actually kind of right. He's talking about the Bears. And I remember specifically saying I don't think the Bears would be that good. End up making it to the divisional round. Obviously, you want to go further, but with the expectations of their season this year, really good looking forward to what they're going to do the next following years. It seems like they're kind of entering a prime of the NFC North there. There's obviously the Lions and Green Bay still up there. And maybe if the Vikings can figure it out. But LA moves on. They're going to play Seattle. Maybe for West, what did you think of the great ending to our divisional weekend in the Bears and the Rams?
Yeah, silly pick towards the end. It's something you kind of see with those young quarterbacks, those slingers. It's something that you got to live with if you're going to live with those kind of throws that get you the into overtime. Ben Johnson and Caleb had a good first season together. A lot of stuff to build on, I think. I think the wide receiver core is pretty set. They're
Yeah,
locked
they're
up.
great. With DJ Rome and Luther Burden for sure.
Okay, we'll see how that defense holds up. I mean, really, it was the Packer meltdown as much it was the Bear comeback. And when you reach a certain level, right, when they have those comebacks against teams like the Cardinals and teams like the Raiders and stuff, it's like, whoa, that's cool. You got to come back and all that stuff. But then when you play the Rams and they can make that final push, can you come back and trade blows? And that's kind of where it got tough for him in that new overtime kind of rule set. Yeah, I
Just a young quarterback just makes a
look.
dumb
Yeah, it looks like the
mistake and
NFC
the and
Bengals.
yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, they're playing really well. A great season for them, especially the expectations they had that really loaded NFC North. Um, but yeah, the Rams move on. They look really good. Obviously, Devontae and Puka, and then Kyron should be a really epic matchup there in Seattle. Who do you have, Seattle or do you have LA going to the Super Bowl?
Right now, I'm looking at Seattle -2.5. I think that's a pretty soft line. I would take that
Yeah,
for the Hawks.
I'm also in agreement. I do think the Hawks are going to beat the Rams again. I think that defense is great. I think McDonald's really got those boys going out there. I think this one will be a better matchup other than the Denver one, just because, again, of the backup quarterback situation. But this one should be lights out again, as the regular season contests were as well. So maybe if we're out west has the Broncos, maybe potential upset facing the Seahawks. I have the Patriots playing the Seahawks in the Super
Ah,
Bowl.
fuck it. I'll go with the Rams.
All right, so we got the Rams there. We got Rams, Broncos. I've got Seahawks, Pats. Two totally different teams, two different ideologies behind it. But that's what makes this Dude Sports podcast so great, is that it's just not people having the same opinions. We actually think for once in a while, maybe potentially,
Someone will be half right.
somebody will potentially be half right or all the way right. Who knows? Let's move quickly over to NCAA football. We do have a national championship on Monday. I just wanted to see if you got any takes on what this game is going to be like. It is the #1 overall undefeated Indiana Hoosiers taking on Miami, the number 10 seed out of the ACC. Miami's defense has played extremely well. Carson Beck, veteran quarterback who's been in the playoffs, finally making that push with Miami. Their running back room there in Miami is also really good. They're going to ground and pound. They're going to run the football and try to make you make mistakes versus Fernando Mendoza and that Indiana team that is just belt to ass every single team that they've played in this playoff. They look phenomenal. Kurt Signetti looks like that ultimate final boss coach that you're looking for in the college football atmosphere. Indiana being it there is a great story as well. Should be a hell of a game. I think the line, what's the line currently? It is
7.5.
7.5 for Indiana. That's not. I have full faith in Signetti and their team as well. I think they're gonna blow Miami out of the water. I think it's gonna be a good game at the beginning, and then Mendoza and Indiana is going to really get it going, and they're going to pull away at the end and win the national championship. Give me Indiana to win the national championship. Are you on the same boat there, maybe if we're way out west, or are you kind of in a different thought process?
Yeah, I mean 7.5. I take that. I guess I'm gonna take Miami to win it all as well, just because. Yeah, why not? I mean Malachi Toomey's kind of fun. Carson Beck could be like a late round option for the Jets, maybe, to just kind of come in and fill in. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to pick Miami just because how
I mean,
great
guys, this is the
Indiana's
national
been.
championship,
Yeah,
man.
you're right. It is a national. We'll see. I don't know. Carson.
Miami beat Notre Dame. They're the best team in the country.
Yeah, for sure. Notre Dame, whatever. Join a conference, whatever. Freaking Notre Dame. Yeah, we'll wait and see on that. We'll review over that game.
Is that my
next
parlay
week.
pick?
That is Case Stelt's parlay pick. Or no, it is your parlay pick, yes. And then both of my Case Stelt's parlay picks did not hit this week. So you have Miami. We have Miami plus 7.5. That was your parlay pick. So we won't pick new ones. Obviously, we haven't hit, but you'll get a point if yours hits on Monday, and then we'll go again and see what happens, especially since Case Stelt's not here. But yeah, like I said, we will go over that championship game next week on Dudes Sports, and we'll see who ends up raising that trophy to end our college football season for 2025-2026. All right, let's get to college basketball. Way better mood for KU fans than we were last week. We had a K-Stel freak out, which is pretty common on the Dudes Sports podcast channel. And how does Kansas respond? They hear K-Stout from the wings, and then they go and they are at home, which does help. Obviously, Allen Fieldhouse is a top three, if not the best venue in the nation. Obviously, maybe for Way Out West will totally disagree, but like we said, it is what it is. They beat undefeated Iowa State by 20, and then Baylor comes to town and they beat them by 18. I kind of wish the main man for Way Out West was accompanied by K-Stout here, just to kind of get a little back and forth going here. I haven't watched enough of Kansas. I get it. Obviously, they need to prove it on the road. They've struggled on the road. They had their two big losses in the Big 12 were away games. They do play at Colorado and then at K-State, so two not great teams, but they're going to get their best shot, especially K-State being that rivalry game. From what you've seen from clips, from hearing from us, maybe watched a little bit of Kansas, do you see Kansas as more of a threat to be a very high ceiling team, or do you still see them as the same Kansas team that we talked about last week?
Yeah, I mean, the threat of the meltdown is still there.
Very
Like
active. Yep.
that didn't
No, it's not
disappear.
dead. No.
I also don't think, even though that win against Iowa State, it didn't like even within that, like there's still a like this team can get better, right?
Yeah.
Like we have not seen the best basketball this Kansas team can play. So I feel like, I mean, even though K-State went off last week and whatever, we're not in too much of a different position because we still have the same question. And there's still like, yeah, maybe there was still those couple guys, those Y2K nuts who freaked out a little too early before the sun fell. But I still think that this Kansas team's about where you said when I asked you a couple weeks ago, um, where are they going to land? And you said about they could land somewhere around that like 6 to 2 range in the Big 12, right?
Yeah, they're
And
still sitting at that. Yeah.
that's probably where they're going to end up, and they might make the tournament. They could just totally blow up. That's not out of the realm of possibility. But I also don't think that they're going to really turn it around and end up and win the Big 12 tournament and show up in the March Madness as a 1 seed. I think they're probably looking at like a 5, 6, 8, somewhere over there in March, come March. Um, So it's about the same that we saw. I mean, yeah, you got the win to like, but that's been the whole thing with this KU team is the what if, and now it hasn't happened, but it also hasn't come to fruition either. So we'll see. I mean, Ken Palm rankings, whatever you want to put into that, have them pretty decent. I mean, you guys aren't.
We're not blowing the sails off of anything right now. I think 6 to 8 is a little low. I think they are a 4 to a 5 seed right now. That six line makes it pretty brutal. An 8-9 matchup to go. They're not a number one. I don't see them being a number one. Not being especially overall, but just a number one seed in general. I really don't probably see them as a 2 unless they go on a crazy run here and win the Big 12 tournament. They could be a 3. I think it really does help that they've had now Darren Peterson in that
But
lineup.
that requires a deep run too.
I don't, yeah, but I think that they could be part of that first four, uh, like
You have
buys,
to
like
assume,
top four
okay.
seeds in the Big 12 to get that double buy.
But how many teams in the Big 12 are going to get top 5 seeds?
Uh, right now, Arizona, Iowa State, I still think it's a 5, like above a 5. BYU and Texas Tech, and then Kansas may sneak in there. I mean, Texas Tech's one I could also see fall to the
I
4 or 5 line. I mean, maybe down to the 6. They just beat BYU, which was a huge win for them. Um, and again, there is that Big 12 bias in me. Obviously, um, I can point out my bias if I need to, but I just feel like that they could potentially finish top four if they play. But like again, we've been saying this all along. If, what if? We haven't seen it. That home game looked really good. If they could go to Colorado and go to K State and continue to look in the form that they've looked, then we might have another conversation next week. I agree. I don't think anything's really changed that much, especially since it was at home. I do like the fact that they were two blowouts and not like they
Do you
won
guys have
by
a big
three
out
or
of conference game remaining?
no. We have nothing left. No, it's all in conference. But let me go look.
Gosh. I mean, Duke plays Michigan in February.
Yeah, they don't really play anybody until.
I mean, you play all the Big 12 schools, but I don't think that's showing me anything.
I mean, they play. Let's see, the biggest
I mean,
matchups.
maybe you're right that they will put 6 Big 12 teams in the top 5 seeds in the
I mean,
NCAA
at
tournament,
Arizona,
just because
at
they all
Texas
beat
Tech
each
will be
other.
tough. At
Well,
Iowa
yeah,
State will be tough.
I was just looking. There's a bunch of teams with numbers. You play the same team twice or 3 times.
Yeah, you
Like
played
you gotta,
twice. Yeah.
yeah, like you've got a bunch of stuff going on. And I guess, yeah, if you're looking at that, you guys all play rock paper scissors and all beat each other. Then yeah, maybe, and then you go to the conference tournament and it's those 6 schools or whatever. But I don't know how much that's going to show me. I mean, really, I think it's all up to March. Like I feel like you just sim to March.
Yeah,
Unless
this
like some
helps.
crazy happens
I
where
mean,
like
it
DP goes
helps
down or
right now.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're sitting in sixth at 3 and
But I
two
don't
because
think they could
UCF beat
really
us.
do anything to prove to me that you're a national contender until
Well, if they beat Arizona
at least the
twice,
Big 12 tournament
they beat Arizona twice, one on the
and then
road.
lose the Big 12 tournament.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm
Well,
saying is to
exactly. So that's what I'm
prove.
saying. Like you have until you win the Big 12 tournament, I have to see your first round March matchup before I'm willing to say anything really about Kansas.
I don't know. That's pretty
Even if they do
crazy.
win
I still
those,
think if they go on and if they beat Arizona twice,
and then lose in the Big 12 tournament.
if they don't make the championship, it's still like a consideration. You think they lose in the first round? Like, even if they make the
No,
semi of the Big 12, they make the semifinal and lose to a Houston or an
do they lose
Arizona.
to Arizona?
I mean, if they lose to Arizona, they lose to Arizona. Arizona's a number one seed team.
Or you guys just beat them twice though in
It's
this
still not. It's still gonna.
hypothetical.
Yeah, you're correct. It would still
That's what I'm
technically
saying. Is like
depart,
Duke.
but
Duke is like kind of shown, and like you'll see this
well,
Michigan game. I think
Duke's
is like a
shown
big
enough.
thing.
Yeah, I mean they've shown enough to obviously. I mean,
Right,
and I'm
like that
not.
you can go. And that's what I'm saying about this Kansas team is I don't know if there is like a what like look at how deep we're going into Kansas to like try to come up with a
Yeah, but
scenario.
like
Like I don't
I
know if
get
there
it.
is a scenario
But like
because that's what we're dealing with, right? National championship
if they have two
levels. We're not
rock,
going.
they had really two bad losses, right? But if they lose one more game and like win the rest of them, and even if they make the
Yeah,
semifinal of the Big 12, then they are considered to be that in that group of maybe not winning the national championship. Obviously, if they get hot, you think that as an optimistic fan, you hope that there's any chance of success there.
but
But
who are they taking on? Are they taking on like a team like Seattle U, or are they taking on like a tough SEC school, or
and they
like
might
someone
be.
towards like a
It
team
could be
like
a St.
Clemson or
Louis
maybe
or
North Carolina or something, where you're at the bottom of the middle of the ACC, where you're like, okay, that's a tough matchup, regardless on what you did against all your whole Big 12 schedule.
I
I
think
mean,
like
fuck
once
it,
you get to the
they
Sweet
beat Arizona
16,
3 times
you get to the
until
Sweet
March,
16,
and
you're
then
gonna
they
have a
play
tough
them.
matchup. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm saying in the first round, unless they get one of these high seeds that we're talking about.
Well, I think
Cause,
if they're a six or a higher, they should get like a either a really bad SEC, not like a bad, but like a
yeah,
bottom of the NCAA tournament SEC team or a good like mid major.
which would you be more scared of?
Probably a mid major. Like if we had to play like a
What about
St.
a team
Louis.
that's like well coached, like Arkansas against Calipari or
But
something?
Okay, and I understand what you're saying with Arkansas. Arkansas is not going to be that low, I don't think. But I mean,
Hmm.
if you're talking who's right there, I mean, do I want to play Texas A&M and Bucky McMillan? I mean, no, but not really. But I would rather play them than like a St. Louis team who's 16-1 and really
I feel
good
like that's where
basketball
Self
team.
really separates himself, though. Like Self kind of struggles against other top tier. and I'm not saying these mid-major coaches, but like when you deal with like players that are not to the level of
In the past recent years, that's been adamant, yes, because they lost. They lost in the first. Lost the second round to Arkansas, this last one, and then they lost in the first round the year prior. And you've seen that in the last few years, where you could totally see that. I mean, but
where if he would have faced
it's why
that
you
team in
play a game.
Oklahoma with that little white boy who shot threes, I feel like he would have just taken fucking advantage of that motherfucker,
Yeah, I mean,
and
if
they would have
and
got
what's about
smoked.
it or whatever, but I mean, it obviously always comes down to March.
Duke, Michigan, February 21st, national championship on the line.
Gotta get. I mean, if we're talking Duke here, it's not like. I mean, it's the ACC, and you were right about this, and I did say this and covered it. ACC is a good conference again this year. They're not like they were last year. They are a good
I have
conference.
no fucking idea what's going on with this Syracuse team. I mean, Syracuse is driving me up the fucking wall. They lost to BC recently. It's BC's first ACC win this season,
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
and I think they're also pretty good. Stanford's like 14-4, some shit.
Yeah, they're three and
Like,
three in conference, but they're 14-5 in general. California's gotten a few wins. I mean, you've got three ranked teams right
and hey,
now, but I think you'll have. I mean,
KU's in the Midwest, whatever.
Miami
Can
probably
we?
is ranked.
And you're talking about we got to talk about college football maybe and tomorrow's game. I think it's going to be 75% Indiana fans
It is
tomorrow.
going to be. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that, but kind of in that same thing, what you were saying, I think this maybe fits more into your narrative. This whole ACC thing where I have to go to Cal and Stanford on the same fucking road trip in the Atlantic Coastal Conference.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how cool that is? Like Duke is only the second team to sweep that. This Duke
Yeah,
team. Duke didn't
it's
sweep
tough.
this last year.
It's tough to go to that east to west coast transition. Yeah, it is. It's the way the landscape of college sports and athletics is right now. And it's crazy. But
And Stanford and
they're
Cal are good
professional.
programs.
They're professional athletes now. They're getting paid all this money. You could travel from coast to coast and try to win games. Like, I mean, it's not an excuse anymore of like, oh well. It's like, no, you're getting paid as professional athletes now. Like, suck it up. Go and play on the road there. If we look at kind of Duke, we're kind of seeing who they kind of have left. I mean, obviously that Michigan game is massive.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I mean, Louisville doesn't have their best player if he's back. I mean, you shouldn't struggle at Cameron. I don't think they lose to the Ville in Cameron. I don't think that happens, but I think that'll be a good contest. At North Carolina, it's always a banger just because of the rivalry game. You've
That's
got
also the last game of the season.
Michigan, and then you've got. No, you're at North. It's at Cameron is your last game against North Carolina.
Yeah, that's the last game. You brought up the
and
first one.
Virginia, but that's at Cameron too. You really don't have to go anywhere on the road.
The Clemson
like
games
scary.
at home.
Yeah,
so is the Syracuse game.
Syracuse
And hopefully by then that kid not Donnie Freeman. Syracuse has like a bunch of like good players too. Like Syracuse is such an interesting team.
ACC could get 6 teams in the tournament this year. They could be. They're probably the second, if not third, best team.
Man,
in the,
what?
I don't
you
know
just
if they get,
named 6 teams in the Big 12 that are going to be top 5 seeds.
No,
are you shitting me?
4 teams in the Big 12 be in the top 5.
You said it would be BYU, Texas Tech,
Arizona,
Iowa State, and maybe Kansas. And I think you even said someone else.
No, those are the 5 there. I mean, in Kansas, I'm not counting. I think there's 4.
Okay.
I think there's Arizona, BYU.
So then how many teams? I don't even want to.
I mean, the ACC. I think you have to get like a 5 seed or higher in the ACC.
No, not 5 seed or higher. I'm just saying that it was silly that as many teams as the SEC gets in, Big 12 has.
The Big 12 will have like probably. I want to say the ACC probably gets 6 to 7. I think the Big 12 gets 7 to
5,
8.
6, 7. If you get 7, well, that's talking about in-conference win percentage. Let's look at overall. I can't sort this. What the fuck?
So
Excel
Duke is in, Clemson
ESPN.
in, Virginia in, North Carolina I would say would be in.
Oh my God! Would you imagine the fucking shitstorm? I don't care if they have a losing record.
Louisville
UNC gets into the goddamn tournament.
Louisville in. So there's 6. I mean, I could see
Syracuse,
Syracuse being on the
Stanford,
bubble.
Virginia
Miami is
Tech.
15-3.
Miami's good, dude.
They're good. So there's a chance for you to get a few of those guys like in that 8-9 range, that bubble, maybe a 10 or maybe like a first 4 play-in that I could see making it like as
Who
like a
definitely
6. Like I
does
could
it?
see 7 teams probably in the ACC. The Big 12,
Cal, Georgia Tech, man.
Arizona, Houston, Texas Tech, BYU, Iowa State, KU. After that,
That's what I'm trying to tell you about Big
UCF
12, man.
maybe.
Yeah. Maybe them versus
UCF
Syracuse
maybe.
for the big
They could be a
NIT or
first 4
something.
team. Yeah, so probably only like 7, maybe 7 coming out of the Big 12. The Big
That's what
10
I'm
will
saying.
have.
And the SMU too, man. Did you even say
No,
SMU?
I did say SMU. Yeah, I put
Okay.
SMU in there. I put in there. I put Duke, Clemson, Virginia, Louisville, SMU, North Carolina. Those are your 6 that I think are 100%, and then your bubble
And I
teams
get it,
are
but the
Syracuse and
ACC has
Miami,
always has good ball. And let me be completely honest. When I watch
and NC State
ACC
too.
basketball, it is more fun than Big 12 basketball.
No, what? Yeah, you're
100%. It
right,
is
because they
so
don't
much
play as
faster.
physical. Yeah, they just
It
don't
is
play
so much
defense. They
faster.
don't play
It is
defense in
so
the
much
ACC. I forget
faster.
about that. Yeah,
No,
you don't
but
like
there's
defense.
more hard fouls. Fucking dude's a guy at Louisville.
Yeah, you want to play. You want to play. You don't want the refs to have their whistle in their mouth blowing every 5 seconds unless you go watch an ACC game. But
Well,
in the
no,
Big 12, you
but the
play through
Big
contact.
12 it turns into just like the last 30 seconds of a Big 12 game lasts 30
That's how it
minutes.
is with the ACC too. What are you talking about? That's how Louisville and SMU win. It's like the last. It's how it is in
Nah.
college basketball all the time. It's not just the Big 12. It's every conference. That's how it's always been. That's the one thing about college basketball that kind of sucks.
Maybe because Kansas keeps on having close games. Duke blows everybody out basically. So
Yeah, and it doesn't matter unless you raise the if you cut the nets in March. So I mean, if you take second
well,
or 50th, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, who cares?
we'll see. We'll see. I mean that
You're
is funny
right. We'll
coming from
see.
yeah coming from the KU fan.
Hey,
Guess we'll have to wait and see on this one.
yeah. Well, at least I'm better than K Stout that just blows up every time it doesn't work. And I know you're just like, oh, they're sucking. I should start thinking about something different. And there's the whole ifs and what's about it. This
Well, the
next
thing
stretch will
is
really
that if
prove it.
something does work, right? It's like an engine, right? And if I got an engine and it's never worked, I'm building it from the top, like with the jets or something. I'm building it from the top, and it doesn't work. It's like no shit, it doesn't work. It didn't work. But when shit works and then it stops working, that's when you get afraid. Now you're like, wait, what the fuck was it? And I feel like that's where Kyle's coming from, and that's where I kind of get it. That's kind of what I'm seeing with the Chiefs. That's kind of what I'm seeing with because like right, it's not like right if Duke got rid of K and then Shire didn't work, it'd be like, oh fuck, Shire's the problem, right? That's
Yeah.
easy. Go try to find a new coach. With the Jets, when it doesn't work, it's like, oh fuck, like no shit, it doesn't work. It's the fucking Jets. Like give Glenn 10 years to try to figure it out. Who gives a fuck? We'd suck anyway. Instead of trying it every year. When you're Kansas City and you win fucking 3 Super Bowls, when you're KU and you win all these games and all this stuff, and you keep on getting these recruits, and now you've got NIL, different things are changing, and you have some schools like Duke, like I don't know, Michigan's done kind of a good job. Texas Tech's done an awesome job. BYU's figuring it out, especially in your own division in the Big 12, and it stopped working. That's why the blow up. It's not that like, oh, KU's now as fucking bad as Florida State or some of these like bottom feeder teams, or neither are the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't nearly as bad as the Jets. But if I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm more concerned than if I'm a Jets fan because what the fuck are we doing? Like, why doesn't this work? It did work.
No, it's a valid argument, and I understand where it's coming from. I just see it a little differently. I think that, and again, I'm deny. Okay, until but I I need to see more out of this. If they make the big run, then it's fine. Yes, if they end up with the season like they did this year or for last year at the end of this season, yes, there probably is some serious conversations about stuff. There probably is. I think he's got the rest of the season to tell us that he is still the guy for the job. I'm not saying that he is the right guy for the job, that is not the problem.
So if a change was to be made with this KU thing, it would have to be at the head coaching position, is what you're saying. I mean, that's
Correct.
kind of the only way that you really
Correct.
go in college
That's all. Well,
athletics.
that's well. Yeah. Well, if it's
It's the only thing
you're
you can
getting a guy
change.
like Darren Peterson, and you've got a guy like Flory that's playing really well, that is a really good big, and that is supposed to be your bread and butter, and it doesn't work. Then it is yes, it is the issue of the coach, and it is the head coach, and it may be that you're seeing this a lot of turnover now with those older coaches. They can't coach the same way. They can't recruit the same way. It's all this nature. And I'm not saying I'm calling for Bill Self's head like K-Stel is every freaking week that something goes wrong. But he has shown, and proven. Yes, last 2 years has he not shown that he could do it? You're 100% correct. Okay, but he's also
Is there
shown
any coach that would have made Hunter Dickinson a lottery pick?
Dusty May.
Okay.
Not John Sire, though. Screw that. He probably you would be having the same conversation about Kansas at Duke if Hunter Dickinson went to that school. But
Kyle Flipanowski
yeah, there you
was
go.
a lottery pick, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
So
Well, I don't know how that happened. How's he doing in the
hey, don't you? That's what I'm saying. That's how crazy the Hunter Dickinson. There's never been a basketball player
He sucks. He's
who's
terrible.
7 foot
He's
tall,
terrible.
who's like
Oh
fell down
yeah, so
draft
it's
boards
it's
like that.
it's okay. Yeah, it's totally Bill Self's fault when you throw the ball at the rim. And
No,
he
no,
does
no, no, no. I'm
effort.
just
It's no
saying that
effort.
that's how
And
crazy it
the
is.
effort on the offensive defensive
Like
rebounding in Kansas last
always.
year was dumb. Was dumb. And it
If
wasn't.
Ben
It's
if
not a
Ben
Bill
Simmons
Self thing.
said that he comes back and shoots left-handed tomorrow, someone would give him a contract. Like that's how silly basketball is.
Well,
It's not like
Hunter Dickinson was never going to play in. Just think of the game, the way he played. Even if he was good last year, right? And we obviously know he wasn't. Okay, the way he plays the game of basketball, it doesn't translate to the NBA. It doesn't. It won't work. It never would have worked. He just came and got the huge NIL and just made KU fans literally want to not be KU fans anymore. Go after Bill Self. It must be somebody else's fault. Or maybe it was just Hunter Dickinson was a terrible basketball player, and all he got 16 points a game at Michigan was because there was nothing else going on there except
so
for
Hunter Dickinson just like a tumbleweed flew onto KU's campus
yeah, and destroyed
this is
everything. Yep, it's his fault. Yep, we'll see.
wow.
Obviously, I'll be the first one to say if things start to go south again, then it might be Bill. Okay, but the
No,
way
you
it's
won't
looked,
be. Kyle already did. You won't be the first. You can't say no. When it happens, I'll be the first to say what.
yeah, I'll be the first to say. That we should get rid of Bill Self. I'll be the first one because K-Stel's words don't even matter. He's not even on the podcast to defend himself, so it doesn't even matter what he thinks. That freaking clown.
I don't agree with
watch.
it.
If
But when
KU
it does
goes on
happen,
a
I'll
streak,
be the first.
it does really
That's
well.
good.
K-Stel's going to go, guys, I told you this the entire time. This team's fine. This team's totally fine. I don't know why there was all this big. He'll say that in March if they're doing really well. He'll take all the credit. So I might as well take the credit too. So that's all it is. Deny. We'll wait and see. Obviously, they've got two not so great games, but they are both away, and one of them's at a rival game. So that'll prove a lot and see if things have kind of started to fix themselves. Let's talk quickly about the rest of the league. I've got my big winners, my big losers. My big losers are two former undefeated basketball teams in the Iowa State Cyclones who did lose twice this week, once to Kansas and then to Cincinnati in a real weird game. The Iowa State, K-Stelz also had this point throughout this. I'll agree with this one. Iowa State kind of starts off really hot and then really, really stumbles and then just beats an okay team in the tournament. See that with Otzelberger all the time. He's brought that point up again and again. I will admit that K-Stel was probably hit around the nose there. Who knows if Iowa State will be able to figure it out, but it does not look great right now. Another team that really lost was Vanderbilt. They lost twice as well. They lost to Florida, and they lost. Who was their other loss? I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Texas. They lost to Texas in a really bad one. So two big losses there for Vanderbilt. Those are my bigger losers. And then my last big loser is North Carolina. They lost 3 of their last 4. They lost to Stanford and California on that away sweep, right?
Is it
West
fair
Coast.
to say that of the Big 12 teams and of the SEC teams and of the Big 10 teams and all the other of the kind of main group of 4, that the ACC has the most risers? Like in comparative, the ACC has moved as much up
Yeah,
as the others have
probably.
kind of moved down.
Yeah, probably. Well, because the ACC was regarded not as going to be that good, because remember the embarrassment the conference had
I was the
last
first to
year.
say it.
So like
Uh,
everybody was so down on the ACC except for Duke, because Duke was good.
everyone.
Basically everyone except for the Duke fan that's an ACC guy. Go figure. Talk about Big 12 bias. Talk about ACC bias. Let's get into that.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Well, who's right?
We'll see. We'll wait till March to see who's really right.
You're saying no. You're the one trying to talk us into two Arizona wins would already crown us a KU champion.
I'm not saying crowning KU as a champion. I'm saying
No,
if.
I said that we need more. We need to wait to at least the Big 12 tournament for KU to prove to me anything.
That's what you said.
Yes.
Yeah. You would say that even if they were good. If they were undefeated, you would still say that.
2 wins against Arizona, then you
still
crown
say
them.
that if KU was undefeated at
their
that
ass.
point. You 100%
But they
would
were who we
still say
thought
that.
they were,
You're
and we
gonna
let
say,
them
if
off.
they're a number 1 seed, you're going to say, oh, it's the third ever time in the NCAA history that it's 1 seed's going to lose to a 16 seed. Shut up, dude. Oh my gosh. I'm so tired of this clown.
UMBC.
Duke, I can't wait till they lose to the 16 years.
Work.
Not even close. Let's just stop with these stupid jokes. North Carolina, ACC's good. Okay, North Carolina had
thanks.
They're the 4th best Power 4 conference team. I think the SEC might be a little bit better actually, but we'll leave that to everything else. But North Carolina.
You put them below the Pac-12?
No, I put the ACC below the Pac-12. Actually, I think the Mountain West might be better than the ACC this year. I'm not sure. Oh my. With Utah
it's not even the Mountain West. It's like the West Coastal Conference or something.
Yeah, it's what
the Mountain West is dog shit.
Yeah, well, the WCC sucks too. The St. Mary's is not very good either. It's only against.
Hey, Seattle U. That leaves a fucking perfect lane for Seattle U.
They're not going to make this.
Come on.
That'd be a great story. I'm here for the stories like that.
Because Gonzaga makes it no matter what into the tournament. So I just need like St. Mary's to beat Gonzaga in the semis and Seattle U to win it all, so they get the auto.
You're right. There's always the tournament aspect that you never know. The WCC's really weird setup where the top 2 teams get that automatic bid to the semifinal. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. My big winners. Florida continues to rise. They were in the trenches being really bad recently. They've now those guards have figured it out. They beat Oklahoma and they beat Vandy at Vandy. 2 huge wins. They kind of look like a top 10 team right now. I do not quite have them in the top 10.
Okay, well, how's it a huge win for them but a bad loss for Vandy? I mean, right? Like, how much of that goes into your ranking system?
Well, because Vandy, it was an undefeated team. They had 1 loss to Texas before then. But Florida has been on this streak now of beating really good teams in the SEC.
That wasn't the game where they didn't have the jerseys, was it?
It is, yeah. This recent.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, where Xavier Lee had to wear 99 because they forgot in Gainesville. Yes, that was this week. But I think Florida has shown like the stuff we were saying about Florida in the beginning of the year, right? We were saying that Florida sucks. They're not going to be any good. They've now proven to come back and be a legitimate threat in the SEC to maybe even be a real threat in that tournament play like they were last year. Those guards have started to figure out, so I have them one as my winners. I have an ACC team as a winner, and that is Virginia. After they did beat the Ville and SMU, Virginia, really, really good basketball team. That defense is still there like it has been in past years. It seems like Virginia's back after losing Tony Bennett, but that's the second best team in the ACC right now, other than maybe Clemson. But they get 2 huge wins against Louisville and SMU. And then Texas Tech gets a big win over BYU. I've got them currently number... How many? What is it? 1, 2... I have Texas Tech as 4, even though they beat BYU. I still have much more confidence in BYU overall than I do Texas Tech. It was at Lubbock, so I think that really helps in that nature. But big win for Texas Tech to continue to try and be one of those top 4 teams in the Big 12. New rankings, we've got St. John's slipping back into the top 25 after a few wins. Georgia at 24. North Carolina dropping to 23 after losing 3 of their last 4. I have St. Louis, number 22 in the nation, 16-1. Great team. Robbie Avila has another great squad around him. SMU at 21. Arkansas at 20. KU back in the rankings at 19. Bama at 18, Clemson at 17, Arkansas at 16, Virginia moves all the way up to 15, Vandy drops to 14, Iowa State drops to 13, Florida, big riser again this week, 12, Illinois at 11, Texas Tech 10, BYU at 9, slipping after the Texas Tech loss, but again in Lubbock, Michigan State at 8, Gonzaga at 7, Purdue at 6, Michigan at 5, UConn 4, Nebraska still undefeated in the Big Ten at 3, Duke at number 2, and your number 1 overall team still Arizona without a loss. Duke, great team. We'll see what ends up happening in March specifically. But that'll kind of wrap up the college basketball week for this week. We'll obviously have new updated, new ranking stuff once next week happens. Do you want to talk MLB here, or do you just want to go to UFC? I mean, I don't really know too much about the MLB stuff. I
Yeah, I
understand
mean,
that
I'll go over what the MLB happened. So the Dodgers are
they're stealing everybody. I mean, that's just what it is. But like,
uh,
I know we had this conversation like off screen. Like, are
it's
the
not
Dodgers
stealing.
ruining? They're not. They're not ruining baseball. Like,
No,
if
they're
you're
doing
using
what everyone else can
can
do.
do,
They are not cheating any rules. There is an interesting thing that I did see where the Dodgers have a TV deal that's not a part of the shared revenue tax money. So that's something weird that's different than the 29 other teams. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm not an agent. I've never been offered a multi-million-dollar contract by multiple major league sports teams. But I would imagine the four final teams. I think it was the Yankees, the Blue Jays, the Mets, and the Dodgers, all offered their final contract to Tucker. One made him the highest paid player in baseball, and that's the one he went to. The Dodgers are paying a shit ton of money. They'll probably still make a shit ton of money, but that's the thing that like the Royals could do. The
they
Royals
could,
could absolutely pay for the most expensive team in baseball.
and it doesn't
Um,
necessarily work. I mean, like you would think it would probably work, especially with the
yeah.
lineup that they have, but you don't know how it's gonna work.
Oh my gosh, especially if something happens with the bullpen or something. You have the WBC coming up. We had a lot of injuries last WBC. The Mets lost out on a chance, one of my best chances, I thought, to go far in the playoffs because Edwin Diaz got hurt in the
Yeah, that was
WBC
yeah, that was
last time it went
crazy.
around.
Yeah,
Um, there's also an impending lockout
that really could impact
negotiation
it.
that's going to happen. The next two free agency classes are kind of weird. And you know what? The Mets came back and made a signing of their own with Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
So the Mets do have a bunch of second basemen. They signed a shortstop, a second baseman, a second baseman. Um, so
But you bring that
we already
power
have a
back with
shortstop.
that, but
Yeah, I mean it doesn't totally replace Pete, but I think the three of Polanco, Simeon, and Bichette kind of replaces the three of Alonso, Nimmo, and McNeil. Like, right, you get
yeah,
better in the aggregate or whatever,
yeah,
playing Moneyball with it. Um, but yeah, the Mets are spending a shit ton of money too, and the Mets aren't even going to be as good. So you could be a team like that who's paying a shit ton of money, and you probably aren't even going to win your division. The Phillies still might win that division. Fuck, the Marlins are kind of showing out that
yeah.
they're a decent team, even with selling one of their pitchers, their starters. So I don't know. The Bo Bichette move by the Mets. I want to talk at the Mets perspective for a little bit. Second baseman galore. It puts Brett Beatty in such a sticky situation. I'm so sad. I don't know what Vientos is going to do. I don't know what we're going to do with Vientos. Acuna? I don't know. But Carson Bench may be a guy who makes his MLB debut opening day starting in center field for the Mets. Um, Pitching staff is starting to take shape. Maybe another couple guys. I know Griffin Canning's still on the market. There's some teams that are interested in him being a starter. He'd probably be a rotational, maybe six guy or minor league guy for the Mets this upcoming year, or put some of those other guys like Tong and oh, Flip Sprout in the minors. But a lot of the Brett Beatty situation is really the thing that I'm looking forward to in this offseason is where they're going to put him. I think left field's an option. There's not really a whole bunch of guys left out on the free agency market. Now we're looking to trade deadline or to trade pieces. Um, Teams are trying to take shape or trying to kind of taking shape. We've got pitchers and catchers soon. We've got spring training coming up. A lot of stuff will happen there. We have the WBC, obviously. Some stuff will happen there. Um, so we're getting into the fun part of baseball, but I want to be clear that the Dodgers are not ruining it. This is like right when Kansas City had Tyreek and all that, right? Like there's always a time where like it seems like a team has everything. We've got a team in Cincinnati who's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Um, what's another sport? Baseball, football. We could do basketball with the
OKC. You
Warriors.
could say OKC too with all their pieces.
OKC now, but right, like the Warriors didn't last
Yeah,
for fucking ever.
yeah.
And then Kevin Durant went to his next team. You're like, oh, Kevin Durant's going to go to the Suns. They're going to win 7 championships.
No, I think if they, yeah, if you go
Yeah.
back and look, I did not say that at all. But continue.
No, but that's the thing is
Yeah,
that
no, it's what you're saying.
we
Yeah, I get what
assume
you're
that
saying. Yes,
what
I
we're
understand.
going for
Yeah,
is that like all these guys join these different teams, and all these sports are different, right? A super team in basketball is different than a super team in football, different than a super team in baseball. Now, I do say that to say like the Dodgers are really putting a strain on this like whole nothing ever happens chud like oh they'll never do a salary cap they'll a team will never be that good a team will never be better than Murderers Row a team will never go 162-0. This Dodger team's really good. It is really good, but also there's some other good teams in baseball right now. There's also some really bad teams in baseball. It's the same thing with the NFL, right? Like, who's happy that it's not Lamar Jackson? Whose fault is that other than the other guys, right? So, like, and I don't want to, like, now I'm going to sound like a Jarrett Stidham fanboy, but it's like, hey, he's going to be in an opportunity to do some awesome stuff. And that system that's in Denver, I'm not surprised if they are able to shock some. And I'm also not surprised if he goes in there, throws a stinker, has 72 passing yards, and fucking throws 6 picks or whatever, right?
yeah.
What are you going to do? Um, but no, the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Bo Bichette is a Met, and we'll see. Cohen's putting his money where his mouth is. The thing is, and this is what I said to Cohen, I didn't want the richest owner in baseball so we could haggle. I wanted us to be the ones to send that contract into Tucker. There's no reason why a team should be outclassing us because we're going to send him the best contract. Now Stearns is a good guy with all those like little money moves, but when it comes to like breaking the bank for these superstars, to go out there and break the bank for those superstars. Now, Stearns probably has the best model for what they're worth, and then you multiply that times 1.2. But really, you need a GM who's going to work with the agents and say, hey, what do I need to guarantee this thing? And just give them that. And that's only when you're dealing with the best of players. Stearns is a great GM when it comes with those tweener guys, the 25th guy on the roster, the 26th guy on the roster, that back end starter who can play in as a long range relief role, uh, building the farm. And he's done an incredible job at that. And I want him to continue being the GM. But when it comes to like making superstars offers, don't make a competitive offer. That's not how you got Soto. You did the biggest contract you thought no one would ever mess with. And then you came back with Tucker. And you know what? Maybe the Mets did think, because that's how big the contract they gave Tucker was. It is so big that you're like, holy fucking shit. Are you kidding me? Like, of course he took that. But you know what? Dodgers are going to Dodger. Yeah, UFC next. Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, yeah. We look at the UFC kind of quickly. It is finally starting back up. I just
What
preview
was it,
kind
six
of.
weeks?
Yeah, it's been a minute since it's been up. I'll share the screen for it. Just go over some kind of cool matchups. I know we did kind of lose a bout there, which kind of sucks in
Grasso
Nunez
withdrew and Kayla Harrison
yeah,
Nunez. Yeah,
yeah.
Harrison neck injury.
Harrison was that one was kind of a tough one, but hey, we're getting it back. We got an interim title bout here, but yeah, you just kind of go through what you kind of see. I mean, obviously, we're both excited about the Sugar Show coming back to the
Yeah,
UFC.
Ty Miller. Opening up the card, we have Ty Miller. I think he's making his debut. He's very fun. He's a minus 400 favorite. He was on the Contender Series in August. He got a unanimous decision win. Um, but he's 6-0 with 2 KO wins, 4 decisions. He's taking on Fugit of Cameron Sutherman versus Ricky Turcos. Southerman's a super fun fighter to watch. Denzel Freeman versus Josh Hoykett, heavyweight. These are two bangers. You got Michael Johnson,
Johnson.
Alexander Hernandez.
And you got a
Alec,
ranked flyweight bout in the early
yeah,
prelims.
yeah, I mean, they did a really good job with this card. Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. That might kind of remove some guys in the 125 conversation, and a good win
That's a
might put someone
gatekeeper
in there.
versus a gatekeeper.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So then you got Nikita Kirlov versus Modestas Bukauskas. This is another good fight. You got two guys from the Caucasus Mountains, like in that Mediterranean area, just going at it. Atiba Gutierrez, we've seen him. He did get a loss. Reese, no, sorry, he's had that loss. I
He
thought he was an
won
undefeated
last week.
prospect.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got that crazy knockout in his debut. No, that wasn't his debut. He's been in a couple of UFC fights now. We've been covering UFC for so long. These prospects are now becoming veterans.
Yeah.
Whoa, how crazy is that,
Just
PC?
keeps going, man.
Um,
Time keeps rolling.
yeah, but TB Gutierrez, super fun fighter to watch. He's still very young. He's only 23, so
Yeah, he's
he's
got
not quite
plenty
a
of time
veteran
in the
yet.
UFC. Yeah.
But Andrei Puliev, 28 years old, he's the vet in this fight. He's nothing to sneeze at. Umar's on the prelims
Yeah.
versus Figgy,
Yeah,
God of
that's
War.
crazy. This is the
You got
earliest.
Arnold Allen, Gene Silva,
Yeah, that one's gonna be a banger.
Natalia Silva, Rose Namajunas,
Yeah, I
Waldo
thought
Cortez
Rose.
Ortega, Acosta, sorry,
Yeah.
um, and Derek
Derek
Lewis.
Lewis.
And then Sugar Show, Song
Sean,
Yadong,
and
Justin
then
Gaethje, Patty Pimblett. Let's make the official announcement right now. We have a kind of a new member to the Juice of Sports family. Vladimir, my buddy from over here on the west side, and we will do a fight companion for this fight. So if Paramount has kind of tickled your fancy, the ESPN stuff was kind of hard to keep track of. I know we've been using Russian. No, we have not been using Russian links. We have been adamantly against Russian links
yeah, we're big
on this podcast.
Dana White guy.
Yeah, and we always pay. But now with Paramount Plus, it is easier to watch fights. A lot of people already had Paramount Plus
The
subscriptions.
UFC fight
Um,
pass on there is great.
and UFC 324, it's going to feature one of my favorite fighters of my lifetime. It's changed a little bit now, and it's tough to talk about fighters when stuff happens. But Sean O'Malley's going to be a part of this card. I feel like it's the perfect time to introduce us, the Dudes in Sports base. I feel like this is a way that we can help grow your guys' experience and maybe even grow our fan base a certain way, give you guys more content. But Sean O'Malley, Song Yadong, Derek Lewis, Waldo Cortez Acosta also kind of a fun tie-in. Song Yadong was the UFC Seattle card, which was the first Seattle card that I went to for Dudes and Sports. So just awesome stuff right here. Really excited to announce that. We'll have more information for that. We'll be live. I got to figure stuff out on my end. I do want to mention, too, on UFC, is that the UFC Seattle 2026 has been announced. PC's favorite fighter is in that. So Israel Adesanya, who's also maybe towards his whatever.
Probably the end of his career, yeah.
Michael Chiesa, also towards the end of his career. He's a guy from my neck of the woods. He will be at the UFC Seattle cards. Another couple like awesome fights put on in that. Alexa Grasso's gonna fight on that card against Macy Barber, Walter Walker, Marcin Tybura, a couple hard hitters there. But Izzy Adesanya, I'll see him in Seattle in March.
Yeah, that'll be really exciting. I mean, he's obviously past. I think he's past his prime, and he's definitely another one of those gatekeepers of all gatekeeper type fighters. But yeah, that's interesting that you get to see him fight as well. Yeah, I'm
You gonna
excited.
come out here?
I don't know. I need to come out to Seattle here at some point.
March? When's spring break for you?
I don't have spring break actually.
Oh my gosh.
Sucks. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I've got some points.
When do you go to Arizona?
I was gonna go in March, but I don't think I'm going anymore in March because the tickets are kind of like insane right now. They're like
Well, March 28th is the fight.
in,
I'm gonna get a group.
in Seattle.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to figure out what's going on. That'd be fun to go to. I like the UFC fight. That's like my favorite live event I think I've ever been to.
Oh my gosh, it
It's
was awesome,
It's
wasn't
so
it?
much fun. It really
Cool.
is. It's something to see for sure. No ride the ticket this week because we got main man for Way Out West to ride. We have K-Style and I both missed ours. I picked San Francisco to cover. They obviously did not cover. And then K-State had the Bears plus 1.5. They didn't hit it either. So we're going to wait and see if Mayman for Way Out West can save a ticket spot to get up 2 points on this. We are currently in week 5 of this. Again, we're going to do 11 weeks to see who ends up having to spin the wheel of punishment. But yeah, that's going to kind of wrap up the show. Kind of a normal kind of section, about an hour 15, kind of a little shorter one for you. As we stop getting football going, we have to kind of fill in some more content. Baseball's not quite yet going. So it'll be all basketball basically from here on out. We might throw in some NBA stuff. Maybe we'll throw some hockey, some golf, some other sports that maybe we don't talk about all the time into the rotation as well as we get closer and closer to those playoffs. Maybe for Way Out West, what is your final words to the people?
Yeah, that's kind of it. Go out, support sport. I know it's hard around these times because we've got the whole start of the new year. It's just after the holidays and all that kind of stuff. Go out there, get outside, support sport, get active. A lot of fun stuff coming up. Really excited for the UFC. We're getting ready for that. Exciting stuff with that fight companion. Really excited to bring that to you guys. Like, donate, subscribe. Comments. We'll see. Kind of our number one chatter, Jess. I got to check on him. Someone needs to do a wellness check.
Yeah,
He's
we
the
need to
number
figure
one
out some
Bears
more
fan.
social media stuff. I'm terrible at the social media stuff. We gotta try
Yeah,
to figure some clipping
Jess
stuff
and the
out.
Bears. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens
Yeah,
there.
that sucks.
Oy, oy, oy.
Trying to show up because of the Bears tonight.
But exciting stuff coming up. We'll see you guys next week, I guess. Goodbye, folks.
Yep, we'll be here next week. We're always here. 9:30 Central, 7:30 for U.S. Coasters.